So just an update on the mice. There's probably still one or two in there, but I think I've killed a total of like 15. Quite a few underneath the RV. I was trying to catch them before they came to the RV.
Yeah, I actually told him I thought he was a little bit bloodthirsty, and he goes, "No, I'm just defending my home."
Yep. So if we can get them at their territory, they'll stay away from my territory.
Yeah.
And then got one in the ceiling, the one that was bothering us.
That was horrible. We kept waking up
Finally.
in the middle of the night, and I actually thought it was like one inside the house on the floor, and I thought it was like a raccoon or something. It was like huge. I'm like, this thing has to be on steroids, but what I was actually hearing was it was up above on the ceiling, and it was like pattering the way, but the way it sounded, it made it sound big.
It woke us up quite a few nights in a row. It was like 2 or 3 in the morning or something like that. It was so annoying.
Yeah, it was.
So we finally caught that one. I've caught quite a few underneath my bed.
Yeah, this place out here by this lake is like infested with voles.
It's infested with voles, yeah.
Not super thrilled.
No, because I don't know what he was doing in the roof, but he was chewing on something. He was making something, chewing on something, scraping on something, and there's wires and all sorts of things up there, so I was not super happy. I was happy when I got him finally.
Yeah. I kind of feel bad. We've killed quite a few. I feel bad.
Yep.
We're in their home, so that makes me feel sad.
We've decreased the rodent population, and she's sad about it.
I am sad. I feel bad. This is their home, and we're invading it.
They'll make more.
They'll make.
I promise. I promise. They'll make twice as many.
Anyways.
I see one right next to my truck right now. He's got a small hole, and I push the hole through, and he keeps pushing it just
like
now.
The dirt,
like just
you mean?
now, yeah. He keeps pushing the dirt back in. I guarantee if I go back there, I push the dirt back through the hole, it's going to be filled up again.
Anyway, yeah. So the old traps, they're the best though.
They seem to work. Peanut butter.
But we are now getting ready to leave here. We've actually, during this COVID time, we have been here for almost a month. It is actually longer than you're supposed to stay on BLM land, but we've had the sheriff come by every day and he hasn't said anything to us. So there's not really a whole lot you can do during this kind of pandemic time. Okay, ready for our big announcement? You gonna tell?
So we bought a home, and we're moving to Oklahoma. We attempted to do the travel nursing thing, and that didn't work out well because hospitals were shutting down, assignments were canceling.
There just isn't a lot of census right now during this pandemic, so we tried really hard to be a travel nurse, and we just couldn't get a contract. So after a month of trying, we kind of decided, like, with the pandemic and stuff, we wanted a home base. So we've been looking for cheaper land, which is kind of more in the Midwest, and we wanted land, and we wanted it to be more in the woods, and we wanted like a creek or something running through. And so we found a property that we were able to just make a cash offer for. And bonus, on 3 acres in the woods, they had a house that is really just bones. It's like been gutted inside. And so we went ahead and made an offer, and we got it. So this way, during times like this, we have a home base, and it's kind of in the middle, and we can go to it. And Jeff was able to apply for a hospital job out in Tulsa, which is about 45 minutes west of where we're actually living. We're going to be staying kind of more closer to the border of Arkansas and Missouri. And anyway, so yeah, we have no idea what this house looks like. We have never seen it.
We saw pictures.
We just saw pictures online and Google Earth, and we just kind of said, okay, whatever, like, let's just do this. So we're gonna take you guys along with us, and you're gonna see the home for the first time that we see the home.
Woo!
Yay, it's exciting. Yay. So anyway, we're packing up now, and we're headed out there. Jeff has to be at his job in about a week, so we gotta get on the road and get moving.
So our 60 subscribers, stay tuned.
You're so funny.
So last night we were in Wyoming, heading to Laramie. We were like 20 20, 30 miles away. We're almost there, and this is what happened. And unfortunately, it wasn't just the tire that got damaged. As you can see, there's wires that are freaking hanging, and
we lost electrical, you guys.
We lost electrical.
Like, look at this. So these wires got wrapped around the tire when it blew. Check that out. So we didn't just lose the tire.
And generally when the tire blows, you destroy some of your fairing or some of your stuff, and that just happens. You can't really predict a blown tire. There's really nothing you can do about it. It happens so quickly. Like, I have a monitoring system on, but you can't get any monitoring systems that are good enough for these tires because they're filled so full. Like, I've looked online, and the tire pressure is like 95, and anything above 97, it'll start making a lot of noise. Ding, 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 saying it's too high. Well, these tires can handle that pressure. So I end up turning it off and turning it back on just to kind of monitor it a little bit, but I'm not able to really watch any kind of heat or pressure rising, and then I would be able to be like, oh, my tire's a little too full or too hot or something. Let's pull over and see what's going on and find a hot spot, or predict if it's going to blow or not.
Off to the side of the road. We didn't have any cell service because, again, we're in Wyoming, and for whatever reason AT&T doesn't get any service. So
Cricket.
We have our walkie-talkies. Well, Cricket or AT&T, they're the same. We had our walkie-talkies, and I heard him say, Candace, I look behind me and I see the tire, literally all of it, just all over the road. So we had a couple things that we were blessed by.
And then she decides to slow down and pull over off the side of the road. I'm not doing that, and I don't have a lot of control because the tire blew, and she almost killed us both.
Hi guys, give us a sec. They're in that car. Okay, so then we pull off to the side of the road, and we get off down to the exit, and it's like almost dark, and we're like, okay, we have to finish this before it gets before it gets dark and we lose sunlight. So it's super cold, by the way, and thankfully, I guess we had a couple blessings, because there was a sheriff going on the other side who saw it happen, so he came down and offered his assistance to us, and that was super sweet, and he was great with our kids, gave them candy, even found a bathroom for us, place for us to air up the tire. And then the other thing that was awesome was it was cold weather, but the second Jeff finally got the new tire on, all of a sudden massive windstorms came up. It was blowing our stuff
away.
Yeah, and I was like,
so we just threw everything in, and then
it was almost like the storm waited until we at least got the tire on before it decided to go crazy. And then right after that, about 2 minutes later, it was like completely dark. Like, we lost all light, and I was like, man, he is looking out for us. It was amazing. There's a lot of blessings. So you want to tell them what happened with the wires? So we go to Walmart, and we stay at...
I'm trying to think, what could that be, the wires? I'm thinking it's in this slide here, which has AC power, it has DC lights, and it has the slides that go in and out. I'm hoping it's not the slides. I hope they protect the wires better with that. So I'm thinking less likely the slides. So we get in, we pull all the slides out, everything's working as far as DC power, and the AC power, the main outlets are not working.
So actually, it's kind of a blessing, because I thought it was going to be all the power in the house, but at least we have some GFCIs that work so that we can run extension cords to power everything else. Yeah, so at least for a while until we get it fixed.
We kind of have to jerry rig things. The kids don't have, part of the wire was the kids' bed lights.
Yeah.
The DC lights, they don't work either. That was part of the wires. So
and then AC, just the main outlets.
When we started pulling out this one slide, I noticed the outlet had been yanked through the wall. So that's what happened when it caught the tire. It was yanked through the wall. Anyways, the way that I changed it was, I first tried to jack up this one tire here, by putting it on the plates and just pushing it up, but it wasn't high enough to pick this tire up. And then So we tried to use the stabilizers to bring it up, and that still wasn't tall enough. I went up pretty far on the stabilizers, and you can technically do that. So I brought the stabilizers up gradually to bring it up evenly so it doesn't damage anything, because if you bring it up not even, then it could damage some things. Anyways, brought it all the way up, still wasn't high enough, so I ended up taking a jack and putting it under the leaf springs, and that pushed it up just enough so I could put the tire in.
Yeah, that was pain.
That was a nightmare.
But before he did that, this is the wire that got wrapped around the tire underneath, and so you can see like it completely,
it just got
yanked.
Focusing,
but completely yanked all that copper wiring off. I mean, just wrapped itself around, and it pulled it out of the walls and stuff.
Some pretty sturdy wire too. It's like 14 or 12 gauge wire. Anyways,
the funniest part about this was because my mom is actually driving with us she's driving the U-Haul truck, and when we called her and finally got a hold of her, she was like, oh my gosh, and she was like freaking out about all of this, and she was like, I don't understand why you guys aren't panicking, and we're like, such is RV life. Like, we're just so used to it. Like, every time we go somewhere, there's like some kind of new thing that goes wrong, or just some new adventure or whatever it is, and so I think we've just gotten used to it. Like, so you just kind of roll with the punches. That's just the way life is. Anyways, we are here now in Cheyenne, and we are coming to see my sister. She lives in Denver, but she drove up to come see us. Interesting enough, though, it's freezing out here, and there's nowhere to go because of this pandemic, because there's nothing really open where you can go inside and play, and it's so cold out, and parks are closed, and so we're kind of just hanging out at the Little America, which is like a truck stop here in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and then we'll head through Nebraska today. So that's our update for you. Let's see if there's any more new adventures today.
I'm walking down the street on clouds instead of the concrete I'm dancing through. Everything's about to come my way. Nothing can ruin my day, no matter what anyone does or say. I smile at fools. No, I don't care, cause I am on my way up, and I won't stop, I won't slow down. Steady on my feet, I'm gonna rise up. No, I won't stop, it is my time. Cause I know what it's like to be broke. I know what it's like when nothing goes your way. So I'm gonna let myself enjoy the fruit from this lucky day. Yeah, I am on my way up. I won't slow down. Yeah, I am on my way up. I won't slow down. I'm strolling down the street with all of my favorite songs on repeat. I'm dancing through. Everything's about to come my way, and I don't care if you spill coffee on me or the sky is gray on me. I don't care, cause I am on my way.
Ready?
And I won't stop. I won't
Right here.
steady on my feet. I'm
Down by the hang, you're the pop rock shop from bank to bank. What heaps, hops on the top.
the fruit from this lucky day. Yeah, I am on my way up. I won't slow down, cause I am on my way up. I won't slow down. Yeah, I am on my way up. I won't slow down. I am on my way up. I won't slow down.